guys, I hope you've all had a lovely week. Now this week's recipe is going to be how to make a classic Victoria sponge. Yes, you all know I love my baking and you all know I like my honey. Now Rowse got in touch actually because I was developing some recipes for them. And did you know there is actually a honey for baking? Yeah, I didn't actually know that until I started working with these guys. So I've developed a recipe which I'm using some honey in my cake and it comes out beautifully, and I just wanted to share that. So I hope you all enjoy this recipe. First up, I've got 2 sandwich cake tins already greased and lined. Okay, so they're ready. My oven is preheating to gas mark 4, that's 180 degrees C, 350 Fahrenheit. Now I am going to put the recipe up on my blog, so look in the description box, click link and you'll get the full recipe. I've got some softened unsalted butter in a bowl ready. That's room temperature, so when you're baking it's always good to have room temperature butter. And I've got 100 grams of caster sugar going in. That was 225 grams of butter. I'm going to beat these together until they're light and fluffy. This bit's a lot easier if you do have an electric whisk or a big KitchenAid or something. But if you don't worry, just use a wooden spoon, put some elbow grease in and beat it. So that's what it should look like when it's nice and fluffy. It's gone paler in colour. I'm using 100 grams of honey. We're going to add the honey to the butter and sugar. Beat this all in. We're going to crack the eggs in one at a time. I'm using large eggs. I'm using 4 large eggs. Make sure you beat it in really well before you add the next one. Now we can add the last couple of ingredients, which is self-raising flour. I've got 300 grams. And we want to sieve this into the mixture. By the way, don't worry if it looks a little bit like scrambled eggs. That's okay. It will all kind of come right once you put the flour in. I'm also going to use a bit of bicarbonate soda, baking soda, just half a teaspoon. Okay. Sieve half the flour and baking soda in. When you sieve flour, it just helps to incorporate more air into your cake. I've also got 2 tablespoons of milk to add, so I'm going to add that in when I start mixing. And then I'm going to finish with the remaining flour. Lovely. Right, now I can add 2 tablespoons of milk. Right, now you do want your batter to be basically this consistency. You can see there it's still pretty thick, okay, but it's nice and light and airy. Now all we need to do is pop your cake batter into your tins. Pop equal amounts into each tin. And we're just going to smooth it down and then pop it in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. Make sure your oven is preheated. And you just need to cook it until it's basically cooked all the way through and it's springy to the touch. Okay, spread it out a bit so it reaches edges of the tin. Be gentle, you don't want to knock all the air out. Right, these can go into the oven. 25 to 30 minutes. Should be done. Once they're in the oven, time to wash up or lick up the bowls. Favourite part. Right, I think these are ready. Ooh la la. Okay. Ooh, I think that's perfect. Okay, you can tell if it's done if you push your finger on it and it springs back. Okay, so this is done. Once your cakes have cooled completely down, you can then spread your strawberry or raspberry jam all over it. Like, give a nice layer. I like to have a good layer on there. And I've got some whipped cream. So this, I'm using freshly whipped up double cream in my sponge cake, but you could use a butter icing if you wanted to, either or, depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes I like to have fresh strawberries as well in it. That is very nice. Now we're going to put jam here, cream there, sandwich them up. We're almost ready to eat. Cream all the way to the edges. Now we're going to pop one on top of the other, like so. Okay. Now I like to finish my cake off with a dusting of icing sugar. Sponge cake is done. So I'm going to take a nice big slice out of this. And if you can see, it's really moist and light and fluffy. Perfect Victoria sponge. Nice big slice. Oh, wow. Yummy. You see how well it's risen? Amazing. So I hope you all really enjoy making this at home. Leave me a comment, you know I love hearing from you, and happy baking. I will see you all very soon.